Montana This Morning continues on Montana's News Leader.
The famous 800-year-old Cathedral of Notre Dame in Paris nearly destroyed by flames yesterday. Coming up, what officials are saying about the cause and the chances of saving any of that historic structure.
A man may have inappropriately exposed himself to a little girl just on her way to school. Police in Bozeman are looking into it.
Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us here on your Tuesday. Coming right up on 6:30, I'm Missy O'Malley with Chet Lehman.
Absolutely. Our top story all this morning, officials in Paris are treating the fire that destroyed most of Notre Dame Cathedral as an accident.
French media reporting that the Paris Fire Brigade believe it was potentially linked to renovation of the church. CBS's Terry Okita is in London with more.
The cross inside the Cathedral of Notre Dame is still standing, even after a fire ripped through the centuries-old building. But its iconic spire eventually fell victim to the flames.
The spire started bending and crawling, and we could not just believe what we were seeing. And then the flames went on and on and on.
Most of the roof is destroyed, but officials say the cathedral's outer walls and 2 bell towers were salvaged. 400 firefighters battled to save the building. They were still spraying water this morning.
Notre Dame is not just a building, it's the beating heart of Paris, and seeing it like an open heart on the medical table, it's heartbreaking.
The mayor of Paris posted to Twitter that the crown of thorns and other major artifacts were saved. It's believed the crown was worn by Christ before the crucifixion. Last night, Parisians and tourists gathered in the surrounding streets to pray and sing hymns.
Notre Dame de Paris.
French President Emmanuel Macron promised to rebuild Notre Dame.
If they're lucky, they will have laser scanned the building, which means they can make a virtual model that is very accurate. But of course, it would be a copy. It would not be the same thing.
The church, built in the 12th century, was undergoing renovations to shore up its crumbling structure. Terry Okita, CBS News, London.
Unfortunately, no one was killed in the fire. It started after the cathedral was closed to the public.
Now, that devastating fire also hit close to home to a priest living in Butte. Father Patrick Beretta, who grew up in Paris, watched the news reports in shock of the fire that did severe damage to the 850-year-old Parisian landmark. Father Beretta said the cathedral is a place of comfort for the people of Paris and a sacred place. He said it's shocking because Notre Dame survived wars and violent outbreaks throughout the centuries.
I mean, a multitude of very violent revolts throughout the Paris history. It survived all that, and then you think it's invincible. I mean, you think that it's there to stay. There's a timelessness about it, and then to see it being devastated one afternoon, I mean, it's just absolutely heartbreaking.
Now, Father Beretta says he plans to talk about the fire during his sermon this week because many people are upset by the fire there at Notre Dame Cathedral.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
Yeah, it's really hard to watch.
Watching the different social media reports pouring in from around the world, just amazing.
800 years it survived, and then reconstruction, and it's that. Yeah.
Interesting to hear Father Beretta's words about
Absolutely
it too.
true. Yeah. Absolutely. Matt, the 6:33 now. We're going to shift it back to the local scene. Depending on where you are in southwest Montana, it's spring or a version of winter.
Yeah, it's beautiful or it's gross. That's pretty much what it comes down to.
That's much really simpler than what I said.
37 degrees in Belgrade right now, 31 in Butte. We see the snow coming down the mining city early this morning. Looks like we could be dealing with some slick roadways west of the divide. Off and on showers expected today. We're best potential of seeing snow coming in the morning, and then we're talking rain showers for the afternoon. We'll talk more about the timing of all this gross weather coming up in just a few minutes.
Yeah, depending on where you are, would you go to our social media and post those gross weather pictures or those beautiful weather pictures? We'd like to see the contrast. That would be nice to see.
Sure.
Head on over to our websites. Meantime, 6:33, our top local story this morning. Bozeman police looking into a disturbing situation after they say a man exposed himself to a little girl who was on her way to class.
It's an incident that both law enforcement and schools say they're taking very seriously. MTN's Cody Boyer talked to a school resource sergeant and has the latest on our investigation.
Bozeman City Police are still looking into what exactly might have happened, but what the report does say, a 12-year-old girl was just a few blocks away from her school when a man driving a gray pickup truck pulled up and inappropriately exposed himself to her.
You never know when one of these type of incidents will pop up.
It happened early Monday morning at the intersection of Durston Road and 19th Avenue. The girl was on her way to Emily Dickinson Elementary School.
It could be the worst thing that person's ever been through, and it most likely is up until that point.
Bozeman School Resource Sergeant Hal Richardson says while officers investigate, what happened is an example of an unfortunate truth.
It's always a good reminder of the stranger danger to have those conversations with your kids. And it can't just be the school that's having the conversation with the kids. Parents need to take a role in this as well.
While this did not happen on school property, Officer Richardson says something like this could have long-lasting damage for anyone that's young to see something like this. He does say the school has help that could be right down the hall.
In fact, it is that easy. Yep, all you got to do is say, I need to go talk to the safety person, and that's it.
He says talking with the school counselor can go a long way to help kids prepare or cope with the worst, but the conversation should start at home.
The dinner table at night is a perfect place to have conversations with your kids about these type of things. That's more powerful than maybe a stranger or a police officer they don't know telling them about it.
Bozeman City Police describe the man to have been driving a gray Dodge pickup with white trim, possibly having a mustache. If you have any information that could help them track him down or could help the investigation, you have to call police immediately. In Bozeman, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
6:36 now. We're going to stay in the Bozeman School District for a moment. Bozeman Public School Superintendent Dr. Rob Watson has been named as one of the 3 finalists for the superintendent position in the Missoula County Public Schools.
Mark Thane, the current Missoula County Public School Superintendent, is retiring at the end of the school year. MTN's Emma Hamilton has more.
Watson is the only finalist from Montana, with the other 2 being from the Midwest and the East Coast. He previously served as a middle school principal for Missoula County Public Schools in 2001 until 2005, when he then became the principal of Sentinel High School in Missoula. Following his career in Missoula, Watson served as the principal at Bozeman High School from 2009 until 2012 before being promoted to superintendent. He currently oversees 11 schools and about 7,000 students within the Bozeman School District. Watson was named Regional Superintendent of the Year in May of 2018 and Montana Superintendent of the Year in October of that same year. Missoula County Public Schools trustees have public interviews and a meet and greet scheduled with all 3 candidates on Thursday. That evening, the board plans to have a special meeting to make the decision of the next superintendent. Reporting in Bozeman, Emma Hamilton, MTN News.
Now, for more information regarding those events on Thursday, you can head on over to our websites.
And the Bozeman School District election is coming up on May 7th. There will be 2 levy questions on the ballot being mailed home to taxpayers.
The elementary trustees are requesting a $115,000 general fund operating levy increase for programming in the elementary schools. If approved, the increase will raise property taxes for a home with assessed market value of $100,000 by $1 each year.
The other levy, the elementary building reserve levy, is currently a $1.5 million levy expiring this year after being in effect for the past 6 years. Trustees are asking for $2 million this year. If passed, the increase would be $5.34 per $100,000 of assessed home value in a home in Bozeman. The schools are bigger than they were 6 years ago, and the district says they need more money to maintain them.
Where we've built Meadowlark Elementary and had to add on to existing elementary schools, and we did a substantial expansion on Sacagawea Middle School, and it's a direct result of the growth that we're having in our community.
Now, the election will also include trustee election, and the ballots will be mailed out next Monday. Ballots are due by May 7th, and they can be mailed or dropped off at the county election office.
Also now, with one of the highest ratios of veterans in Montana, there are hundreds of veterans making a difference in the Bitterroot Valley.
But as MTN's Dennis Bragg tells us, at the center of the hub of activity is Doug Mason.
If you ever want to experience the generations of people who've worn the uniforms in service to America, there's no better place than the Bitterroot Valley. From World War II to Desert Storm, it's a place where veterans continue their service, rolling up their sleeves to become key parts of the community.
Yeah, our veterans have served our country, and then they come back and serve in the community. That's why today is about honoring Doug Mason for his service here in Corvallis. And through that, we're able to honor all men and women who have worn the uniform of this country.
Today, Mason was the focal point in a room full of impressive people, all gathering to mark his receiving the Montana Congressional Veteran Commendation from Representative Gianforte.
I ask my colleagues to join me today in commending Douglas Mason for his dedication and service. Congratulations.
This award's for you as well, because we do a lot here in the Valley, and just appreciate it.
As anyone who's spent any time in the Bitterroot knows, Doug has never stopped serving since he joined the Army as a young man in 1981. After serving as a Ranger, then in Special Forces as a Green Beret, he was awarded the Army Achievement Medal and the Valorious Unit Award, recognizing his heroism. But for people in the Bitterroot, his heroism didn't stop when he came home, becoming an advocate for his fellow soldiers, boosting the Memorial Day Parade to the best in the region, and incorporating students in the annual Veterans Day Parade. But he says today was about sharing that recognition with all his fellow veterans.
Oh, it makes you feel good, you know, but again, it's, you know, everyone that's there, we're all just shoulder to shoulder, you know, just trying to do the best we can, and it's for them as well as me, and there's a lot of people who aren't here, you know, who've passed away and stuff like that, you know, that this award is for them too.
Yes, but as the commendation today shows, it takes someone like Doug to show the way.
Gianforte will be presenting another of the Congressional Veterans commendations on Tuesday to Ron Merwin for his work fundraising events with youth programs and community celebrations as well. That will happen at 10 a.m. at the FVW Post in Ronan. It is time to take a quick break here on this Tuesday morning. Here's a look ahead at Montana this morning.